Terry Ryken, your broker with a personal touch, proudly presents Ken Boxer Live.
Hi, I'm Alonzo Bodden. Join me on Ken Boxer Live. I'll be with Ken Boxer and Tai Babilonia, and I'm not skating. Stop asking.
Yes,
I'm not skating.
We're going skating.
We don't have ice at Santa Barbara.
We're skating.
From the American Riviera in Santa Barbara, California, it's Ken Boxer Live with your host, Ken Boxer, and co-host, two-time Olympian Tai Babilonia. Please welcome Ken and Tai.
Thank you so very much. What a group. Thank you. Thank you all very much.
I'm proud.
It's great. Big
Yes.
crowd tonight. Welcome, everybody. I'm Ken Boxer, and this is Ken Boxer Live. Let me introduce you to my lovely, very talented co-host, the one-time world champion, five-time national champion, and also she's been a champion of five-time national champion.
Yep.
Okay.
Did you get a?
Where did I get missed?
You missed inducted into the Hall of Fame. Did you get that?
Just last June.
Yes, in Vegas at Planet Hollywood.
And they don't just hand those out. Congratulations
No,
again.
that's. Thank you. You have to remember, I've been with my partner Randy Gardner we're coming up on 49 years, so I think we deserve some sort of Hall of Fame.
Tai Babilonia, everyone.
Just for keeping it together.
You've been very busy. Tell us what's been going on.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, recently I turned 57. 3 weeks ago, I did an event at the Granada Theater, the beautiful theater for the Unity Shop. Kenny Loggins sang, Messina, Dave Gonzalez did an amazing job that night. Through the Roof Box. So that's a wonderful organization, unityshop.org. We have another one coming up, the telethon in December, so keep an eye out for that. I just did a Where Are They Now for the OWN channel for Oprah, who's a regular.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that will air early next year.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So tell us, who's on the show tonight?
I'm so excited. It's comedians. I have a soft spot for comedians. But he was the winner of Last Comic Standing, Season 3, which is amazing. I am a new fan. He's brilliantly funny. We have in the studio tonight Mr. Alonzo Bodden.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So don't go away. We'll be right back with Alonzo Bodden.
Ken Boxer Live, brought to you in part by the Eagle Inn, a family-owned hotel near the beach in Santa Barbara. Harborview Inn, welcome to Santa Barbara's premier 4-diamond luxury boutique oceanfront hotel. La Quinta Inn and Suites, conveniently located in downtown Santa Barbara. Now back to Ken Boxer Live.
Thank you. And we are back. Joining us tonight is the well-known comedian and actor Alonzo Bodden. Alonzo is best remembered for winning the 3rd season of the reality television series Last Comic Standing, and for his numerous appearances on late night talk shows on the late night talk show circuit. Let's now welcome the funniest entertainer alive, Alonzo Bodden, everybody. Very welcome.
Nice to meet you, Alonzo.
All right.
Alonzo, I heard that you have some history here in Santa Barbara.
Yes. I used to work on airplanes, way back when I did honest work. And I worked at Santa Barbara Airport. There was a company here called Tracor Aviation, and we worked there. I used to rebuild DC-10s.
Really?
Yeah, that was...
What year was this?
This was 83,
Okay.
84, around then. So you were still skating.
No, we were, still skating,
Yeah,
but professional. We
yeah,
turned professional
you'd
in
gone
80.
pro.
Yes.
Well, you didn't know money in the Olympics. You had to go pro.
Not back then. Now they do.
Now they do,
Yeah,
but
well,
they're
they-
pros now.
Yeah, there's no such thing as an amateur anything.
Yeah, there is
So-
actually. Like shot put, there's no money in
There's
shot
no
put.
money. Well,
Even if you're a pro in shot put, you're an amateur.
Okay, I
Wait a
believe
second,
you.
you were an Olympian, you said.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was. I tell women that
Yeah.
because they've always, wanted to hook up with an Olympian. So what I do is I pick something nobody would know. I've been the third man in the four-man bobsled.
Okay.
I've been the fifth man in the eight-man row. Anything that you can't check,
Right.
I actually competed
Really?
in. And I've never made the medal round because that's on Google. I try
Right.
to stay below the radar.
Well, it's
and
not
just,
about
you know.
always getting a medal. It's about the experience
Yeah,
of being an
see,
Olympian.
I use that
See,
line.
That's the
I
line you
that line.
use.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
All right. And now I'm friends with you. So I was, what year was I skating? Let's see, that was.
Can you picture Alonzo on
That
stage?
was-
Well,
Yes.
I'm going to get you on the ice.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's go skating one day.
Yeah, if I skate, I'll be on the ice.
I'm serious.
Okay, I want to know the journey that got you here. Not sitting here, but the journey of comedy.
Well, what happened was, like I said, I was an airplane mechanic, and after doing that for 10 years, I started training new mechanics. And that's when I found out I love being in front of the room. Like, that's a fear people have, public speaking, and to me, it's the most natural thing in the world. So there were 3 of us teaching, and you're supposed to each one do a third, you know, and then do the shop work. I was like, no, I'll teach the whole thing. And the other instructors were like, really? They were like, go ahead. And so I liked doing that, and then I decided I was making the guys and women, the students laugh, and I wanted to try comedy. And a girlfriend who I had at the time gave me an ad for a comedy class. And she said, if you want to do it. So I did that. I did my first show. It was 5 minutes at a little theater in Santa Monica. And I walked off stage and said, I'm never working on airplanes again.
That
I
was it.
made that decision to give it up. Because had I continued to work, well, I got laid off, so McDonnell Douglas helped.
Right. Yeah. Little
But
nudge.
had I gone back to aircraft, I think it would have been too easy to make money, and I wouldn't have had the same,
Right.
you know,
Makes
drive
sense.
or passion for
So you
for
loved
stand-up.
it from that first step
From
on
the
stage.
first time,
You
yeah.
knew.
What was the
Never had a
feedback
doubt.
like?
Never
though?
had a doubt.
What kind of
They
feedback?
laughed.
They laughed.
They laughed, which sounds normal, but the funniest thing about it, so we do this class for 6 weeks. You know, you start out, he says, write a funny story. Then every week you had to remove something that wasn't funny. So at the end of 6 weeks, it's just jokes. And we talked about that, and we looked at other comedians, and we learned about, they never talked about laughing. So the first time you get on stage, and there were like 200 people there, you know, friends, family, support, it takes time for them to laugh. That's what threw me off. Like I said something, and they all started laughing, and I'm like, well, what do I do? Do I wait? Should I keep talking? You guys, be quiet, I'm trying to talk, you know?
Oh, that's
So
funny.
that's what I remember as being the weirdest thing, that first moment when they laugh, and you're like, I don't know what to do right now.
Can you really study comedy?
Oh yeah,
sense?
absolutely.
And you can learn from a teacher?
Absolutely.
Were
You
you-
can't learn to be funny, but if you're funny, you can learn to be funny on stage. But watching other comedians, I mean, to this day, they truly are artists. I can watch Chris Rock, I can watch Louis Black, I can watch George Wallace, and learn something from them every time. And the only
Right.
difference now, I'm one of the old guys, which is funny to me because now young comics come to me with the
Right.
same questions I used to have, and they're like, listen, you're washed up, but tell us.
But you started late, right?
I did. I was 30 when I started, which in this business is a late start, but it went well. You know, I've had a good run, so.
I was just going to ask, were you funny as a kid?
Yeah,
Were you
yeah.
funny in school?
I was funny, but I was never the class clown. I was the guy who would sit there and I would say something to the person next to me and they would bust out laughing and I would keep a straight face and watch them get in trouble.
Love that. That would have been me.
But teachers knew I had the smart ass gift because
Right.
I would joke, sometimes talk back or whatever, or just be funny with them. So
And your parents knew? Did they know?
my mother is the funniest person I know. That's without a doubt.
Interesting.
Without a doubt, that's who I got.
Is
it
she your
from.
inspiration?
My
then?
mom.
I mean, do you get
I don't know
your
if
jokes?
inspiration is the right word, but I got the gene from her. She
Yeah, the
is
funny
hilarious. You know, even now, like, give you an example. My mother's battled cancer, right? So she had to do chemo, and when she did chemo, she didn't get sick, and the nurse was amazed because people, you know, she's like, you didn't get sick? My mother's like, oh, black women don't have sick days.
Oh,
They have to work every day.
there you go.
And it was like, yeah, that's true. And
Wow.
they just laughed, and it was, but that's the way she is. Any situation, she always found the humor in it. me getting in trouble in school, she used to find that funny. You know, after she hit me, it was funny. So no, that's who I get it from. And then
Where do you get how do you come up with your material?
whatever strikes me as funny. You know, that's what I talk about. And that's changed over the years. And when I started, it was all personal experience, right? You talk about, you know, maybe talk about family or work or my car or something like that, right?
Is that observational? What's
No,
observational?
I shifted into observational and topical after Last Comic Standing. Like when I did Last Comic, I was doing some of both, but more and more society became funnier to me than I am. So more and more I would look at things in society, talk about society. That's why I love, like, I think there were 3 great comics and we're all in one of their schools, right? I think there was Carlin, and there was Pryor, and there was Cosby. Okay, separate from the, you know, rape and criminal accusations.
Right.
I'm comedy Cosby. All right, look,
Yeah.
all the women got in there. We don't like you anymore.
Oh, comedy Cosby.
Comedy
Yeah,
wise.
separate.
So because he was a storyteller, right?
Right.
So I fell into the Carlin camp, where you look at society, you look at social ills, and that's what you talk about. And that's what I love talking about. So over the years that developed. And now it's funny because looking back at, like, I don't even remember those jokes I used to tell when I used to talk about me. I still talk about sometimes, you know, about dating and being single, and my nieces and nephews are funny. And
Would you
so
find those old jokes funny when you look back?
when you're a comic, I don't know if you ever find yourself funny. You know, we watch ourselves and we're like,
Well,
man, we could have done that better.
Let's watch a clip and let's watch you.
All right, let's
and you
see
can
if
watch
I'm
yourself.
funny.
Okay, let's watch this clip.
Are you critical of
Alonzo
yourself?
Bodden.
I can't watch myself. Yeah.
All right. Everyone always asks you, what's new? Recently, I donated a kidney to my brother. Don't clap, he owed me money. I was like, I'll be damned if you're gonna skate out on this, ooh, I got a bad kidney routine. I got 2, you get 1, you get your ass back to work. And it was kind of cool because he's my older brother, right? So when we were kids, he used to beat me up because that's what older brothers do. I was like, yeah, good thing you didn't hit me in the kidney. You need me now. But the procedure was amazing. That, first of all, medical technology has reached a point, I mean, I couldn't believe what was going on. I don't know about medical technology because I got bad health insurance. When you have bad health insurance, you don't get medical technology. You go to the doctor, they're like, you'll be all right. You just hang in there. I need x-rays. I have to go to the airport to get them, huh? They took us to the transplant center. At first, I met the surgeons. And surgeons, they have an ego about them. You know, they're a little cocky. And he explains the whole surgery to me, and he looks to me like, do you have any questions? So I like messing with him. I'm like, just one, you ever done this before? Right? And now he's a little offended. He's like, what, are you kidding? My partner and I, we've done hundreds of surgeries. We're like Jordan and Pippen. I say, your ass better be Jordan. Then I meet the anesthesiologist. This is another winner. He's like, this is gonna be the most relaxing day of your life. I'm gonna put you in Michael Jackson sleep. I said, I better be black when I wake up. I saw what you clowns did to Mike. I ain't having it. I'm Alonzo Bodden. Thank you, Montreal.
Hi.
You know, first of all, I love, and I was with David Brenner for 8 years. So, and he never gave into the curse words. He always said that's the easy way out. I see that in your comedy. You don't.
I curse sometimes.
Right.
You know, I curse when I'm in a club. I mean, that was a TV spot. You don't
Right.
curse on TV.
Right.
But I curse as much as people do in ordinary conversation.
Right.
So they don't notice it. You know. In
Millions.
other words,
Yeah.
I never lean on it as a punchline.
Right.
Because that you can't do. And it loses its shock value if you try it all the time.
Exactly.
Interesting thing about language, and this gets back to what you were saying about how you learn about comedy. Richard Pryor, right? Which everyone says, you know, Richard talked dirty, Richard cursed, this and that. If you went back and changed every word, every time you curse, you changed it to a clean word, still be hilarious. Because Richard's stories were funny. That was just his language. Richard grew up in a whorehouse, so that was that was his English. You know, it was normal.
He didn't
for
know
him.
any better.
He didn't curse to try to shock you. That's just how he talked. Whereas other comics will try to lean on it as a crutch, and it'll work a few times, but yeah, then it falls
I
off.
tend to shut down because
It
it's
does.
so much.
It falls off.
But the other question was hecklers.
I
To
wanna-
heckle a comedian, I know it's brutal.
Yeah.
You know,
My warning for hecklers is keep in mind I do this every day.
right.
You know, like
Right.
you're drunk tonight. I'm gonna win. Not only am I gonna win, I'm gonna give you a name that your friends are gonna remind you of for years. Like you are never gonna. You know that. I mean, that's how it is.
Right. You annihilate them, though.
Yeah, you not initially. Initially,
Right.
you warn them, you kind of go easy, and then if they keep going, you tear their head off.
I love that. I
Alonzo,
love that.
when we were looking at that clip, we watched it, it was like about a couple minutes.
Yeah.
How long would it take you to prepare to do a couple minutes?
To
how
write
much
2
to write
minutes?
it, to perform it at your home or wherever you go to perform
You know,
ahead of time?
It depends on what it is. Sometimes it comes to you finished. I mean, keep in mind, I've been doing this for 23 years now, so my mind is trained, and I think in terms of the joke. I think in terms of the written joke. So I can write much quicker now than I could even 5 years ago. But it depends on what the topic is. Some things come, that grew, and that's just a short part. That whole routine, the kidney bit is about 6 or 7 minutes. And it grew because every time I would tell a story, I would add something to it or talk about another aspect of it. So things like that have a life, and they come together maybe over a period of a couple of months. And you know, sometimes you throw out a line, you just come out and say it, and it's boom, it's funny right away. And then other times, sometimes you have an idea and you can't make it funny. And then you come back 6 months later and you can't make it funny. And then a year later, you're like, oh, that's how you say it, and then it's funny.
Have you ever performed and given a joke and then realized, did I already say that joke before? Have you
No,
ever-
never twice in the same set.
Okay.
Only guy who could do that was Jay London. Jay London was on Last Comic Standing with us, and Jay is this real character. Jay looked like a caveman who had just walked in. He had this wild hair, and he would wear overalls and no shirt underneath, and this. But he was this lovable character, and he wasn't dumb or lost, but he played that like, oh, can I help? Did I? And he would say a joke, and then he'd do it 5 minutes later, and did I say that already? And the crowd, you know, but it fit his character.
Right.
And he's the only guy who I ever saw could do that.
Andy Kaufman could pull something like that off.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, Andy Kaufman could do it. And again, it was in character. The times we worry about it, not so much now, but in the 90s, there used to be a lot of clubs where you did 3 shows on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
And by the 3rd show, you'd be like, did I tell this joke already? You know, and the 3rd show would be so much improv because you're like, I don't know what I said already. I'd already done it twice. So.
Yeah. In the
Wow.
clip, I'm going back again to the clip, it was mentioned that you gave your brother a kidney.
Yeah, yeah. And it's funny, people ask me, is that true? It's like, I wouldn't make that up for a joke.
I didn't ask you that.
Wow.
No, I did. I gave him a kidney. It's been about 3.5 years. He's fine. I'm fine. And I do some
great.
stuff with the, thank you.
That's nice.
I do some stuff with the Kidney Foundation and donor organizations. They like that, so.
So do you just
Wonderful.
walk around and find things to be funny in general?
I don't look for it. Once in a while I look for it, but for the most part, you know, like, I mean, now we're in the midst of the election, right? And I call it the reality show because that's what it's been. It is. It's been a reality show. But if you follow it from last year, when we had the whole circus of candidates, right? When you had, you know, Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz and Ben Carson, and you had, so over time the jokes changed because the characters changed, right? As Trump became more famous, the other one fell off.
Right.
So that became a thing. Then it became a thing. Like now, it's like we're tired of Trump. As comics, we're like, you can't make up anything funnier than what he said. We've
Great.
literally
So
given
true.
up. My friend Roy Wood Jr., brilliant comic, he's on the Daily Show. He did a rap song. It was the funniest hardcore rap song, and the whole thing was lines Trump actually said. He didn't edit or change one because it's so ridiculous, you know. And then Hillary Clinton is just so not funny. It just, I mean, she draws funny out of what was funny. She is just so straight that becomes a joke. She's not funny, so you make fun of the fact that she's not funny, you know. So so you're always looking for something. And then we just went through the Olympics. I love the Olympics. I had a bunch of material
You're an
about
Olympian.
that. I was an Olympian. And
Exactly.
you have so many. I mean, the Olympics is so funny because, you know, like I say, we come together as a nation, right, to watch sports we know nothing about and cheer for athletes we've never heard of. But for 2 weeks, we are focused on platform diving like it's football. We're like, oh, come on, you over-rotated, what are you doing? Right? We're literally watching it like that, like we know what's going on. I could watch Usain Bolt. Usain Bolt is so fast that he has time to turn and laugh at his opponents in a 10-second race.
True.
How humiliating is that? If I'm the other guys, I'm like, Usain, at least make it look hard.
Right,
Just,
right.
You know, so you have a ton of material. There's always something going on. The Rams have come to LA and nobody noticed. No, they're another bad team. So we got
No, they
that.
just won, didn't they?
Yeah, accidentally.
Oh, Alonzo.
No,
What do you mean
they're
accidentally?
fun. The Rams are fun. Come on,
Okay.
the Rams are not like super competitive.
Yet.
No.
It won't get better.
Listen, you're talking to an old Clipper fan, all right? You don't talk to me about losing. I know losing. If you're a Clipper fan, you know losing.
That's funny.
You know 20 years
Of losing.
just no hope
Remember
at
San
all.
Diego Conquistadors, right?
They were the San Diego Clippers, and yeah, they were the Clippers, and that's when they got the name because of the Clipper ships. So you know there aren't a lot of Clipper ships in downtown LA, but they already made the T-shirts, so they stuck with it.
Yeah, but they're a lot better team now.
They're
than
great
that.
now, and that's a fun. That was a switch. I had a whole thing about the Donald Sterling thing and the switch. When the owner of an NBA team says, "I don't want black people at the games," he does not know his product.
True.
He really
Yeah.
should.
Well, you know, the Lakers are here this week. They're doing their training camp.
Right, they work out. They work out up here, and then the Lakers.
Here in Santa
Yeah,
Barbara?
in Cleveland. LeBron James was here last week.
Yeah, yeah. The Lakers aren't what they once were.
Right, right.
No.
It's funny. The Lakers and the Raiders, all of their fans live in the past. Raider fans think it's 1985 forever. Like it'll always be 1985 to Raider fans. Laker fans right now, they're in 03, and Kobe's gonna come out and just be the old Kobe. And you know you get it because they were once great teams and they'll be great again. But that kind of thing is fun. So
I can't imagine you're ever getting comedian block, like writer's block. All this is just flowing right out of you. I can't even imagine that. Do you ever have writer's block?
No, what happens to me and most comics, it's hard to keep us off stage. You know, like to not work, for 2 weeks. The longest I've gone since I've been doing stand-up was 3 weeks without getting on stage, and I was going nuts. I was like, I gotta. And ironically, the reason I wasn't on stage is I was a judge for Last Comic Standing. So I was watching other comics every night, but I couldn't go up, So that was tough. Yeah.
So what's your schedule like now? Weekends or?
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Love to work.
Mainly weekends, but that's a funny thing in comedy. You start out working Monday and Tuesday night, right? Open mics, and then you work Wednesday, and you dream of one day working on the weekend, and you might get a Friday night, midnight, or 1 a.m. But then years down the line, as you become busy, like now, if I have a weekend off, I honestly don't know what to do. I'm like, what do civilians do? Where do you go?
Yeah.
What do you do on the weekend? And after a couple of years, I had to make a conscious effort to not go to comedy clubs when I wasn't working. Because that's just where you gravitate to.
Right.
Like,
Is it
that's where all
hard?
your
I get
friends
Is it
are.
hard for you to watch other comedians?
No. But comics, when we watch each other, we generally don't laugh. Comics watch each
Seriously.
other like, that's funny. That was good. The best you get is, wow, I wish I thought of that. But there are times, there are certain comics that make me laugh. I think all comics have certain comics that make us laugh, and then other comics you watch. Some comics you watch in awe. If you want to see something, watch comics watching Dave Chappelle. And we're back there like, this is amazing. Like his mind, the way his mind works as a comic, you're just watching him do it. And it was that way with Cosby. Again, before all of this came out with Cosby, you would watch Cosby work and you're like, this guy's been doing this for 50 years. And he's still just coming out with new, and you're like, how do you do that? So there are certain comics that we love. Louis C.K. is like that. And there are certain comics you watch. Again, as comics, you're watching them, and they're showing you how much better you could be. They're showing you, wow, there's a whole another level that you want to touch on.
Well, we've got about a minute left. Tell us, you're going to be, I know it goes by too quickly, you're going to be performing throughout the country.
I've got so many things coming up, so let's see. This weekend, I'm going to be on a radio show called Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me on NPR. Next week, where am I going next week?
I'm in Texas, right? Somewhere in Texas?
No, I just got back from Austin.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to be in Hollywood at the Improv, October 6th.
I'll be at that show.
I'm doing a couple of shows there. The following week, the weekend of October 13th and 14th, I'm at the Improv in San Jose. And all you do is just go to alonzobodden.com and look at the schedule, and I'm everywhere.
Alonzo,
great.
You're a very busy guy, and we appreciate your taking the
Thank
time
you.
to join us. Yes. Alonzo Bodden, everybody.
We're going to go skating.
Thank you, and good luck to you. And welcome back to Santa Barbara.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that's our show for tonight. So don't miss our next show, when we have Trapper John M.D., the actor Gregory Harrison joins us. So far, our guests, Alonzo Bodden and Tai Babilonia, and our director, George Montalvo, and the entire KBL crew. I'm Ken Boxer. Good night, everybody, and thank you all. Thank you.
Ken Boxer Live is brought to you by the following sponsors. Terry Ryken, your broker with a personal touch for all your real estate needs. Palazzo Restaurant, where people don't leave hungry or thirsty. Harborview Inn, Santa Barbara's premier 4-diamond luxury boutique oceanfront hotel. The Eagle Inn, a family-owned hotel near the beach in Santa Barbara. And by Wendy Foster, La Quinta Inn and Suites, Taffy's Pizza, Country Catering, Meat Market and Deli, Lito's Takeout, Jack's Bagels and Bistro, Ice in Paradise, Perfect Computers, the Ken Boxer Live musical themes by Mr. Michael J. Leslie. From all of us at Ken Boxer Live, I'm Baron Ron Heron. Good night, everyone.